Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a charlotte. Let's begin. To start on the recipe, you'll want to grab yourself a large mixing bowl, and into the mixing bowl place your eggs. Then you'll want to whisk your eggs over a high speed until they become lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency. The mixture should have doubled if not tripled in volume and should be almost white, and once you've achieved this perfect, you can start to add in your sugar, and you just want to steadily pour it in until it's all fully incorporated. Once all of the sugar has been fully incorporated, you can then go ahead and add in your vanilla. Feel free to use extract or bean paste, whichever works best for you. Next you'll want to add in the dry ingredients, passing them through a sieve first just to remove any lumps that may be in the mixture. You can then go ahead and combine the two just by folding them together. I find using a metal spoon the best way to do this. It helps you not to deflate the mixture too much as it's got a thinner edge than a spatula would have, but feel free to use what you have. And once your cake batter is clear of any flour, you can grab yourself an 8-inch round cake tin which has been lined, and then just gently pour your mixture in and level it out if needed. All the baking times, temperatures and everything you need to know for this recipe will be linked on the blog post, which will be linked down below. Next, you'll want to work on the sponge fingers, so grab yourself a mixing bowl and place in your egg yolks, followed by the sugar, and whisk the two together until they are lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency. You will know that the mixture is done as the volume will be a lot more. It should be triple if not quadruple, and the colour will be almost white. But while you wait for that to do, you can go ahead and start on the next element, which is the meringue. So into a large bowl, add in your egg whites and just whisk them until they are frothy. Once they are frothy, you can then go ahead and add in your sugar a little at a time until the sugar has been fully incorporated. You want the meringue to be smooth, so be careful not to add all the sugar at once, otherwise it'll be granular and it might knock some of the air out and it'll just ruin it and you'll have to start again. So just add a little sugar at a time until it's fully incorporated. The perfect consistency for the meringue is somewhat between a soft and a stiff peak. If you know what that is, then you're good to go. While your other mixture is almost done, you can go ahead and test it. So take a bit, and if you can draw an R with the mixture, you're good to go. That's the ribbon stage. Then you can add a bit of the egg white into the egg yolk mixture and just fold it in carefully. You don't want to use all of the meringue right now. Use about half. Then you can go ahead and pass the dry ingredient through a sieve and directly over the bowl. So you'll want to do all of the flour and just pass that through, and then carefully mix that in until it's fully incorporated. You can then go ahead and just add in the meringue and fold that in until it's fully incorporated into the mixture and you can't see a trace of any single ingredient. Once all three elements of the recipe have been fully incorporated, you can then transfer the mixture into a piping bag fitted with a round piping tip and then start to pipe them out on your baking tray. I've did some templates here. As you can tell, they're not all the same size, but I knew roughly what size I needed. And as you can tell, once you're piping them out, they do spread a little bit, and this is what you want. You do want them to batch up, but you also want them to keep their shape. Although these wasn't the perfect example of what I was looking to use, as you can tell, the top row do batch up pretty well. And then you do want some singular ones just to go around the edge where you will be making the wall of sponge fingers up. Optional finish is to dust them over with a light coating of icing sugar. All the ingredients, baking times and temperatures will be in the blog post linked down below. So once your cake has fully baked and have been allowed to cool, it should look something like this. You'll want to remove the paper from on the sides and on the bottom, and then level it by halving the sponge. Then, using the same cake tin you used to bake the cake, you can take your sponge fingers and place them in around the edge to create a border. Although mine don't look perfect right now, it does turn out better in the end somewhat. If you're looking to do this better, you bake one sheet of them completely and it should just be able to wrap around. And if you do a better job, the sponge should fit in perfectly with no gaps. Just plug the gaps with some sponge cake. So then you'll want to make the Bavarois filling. So for that you'll want to take a small bowl and place in your sheets of gelatin, submerge them and leave them for around 5 or so minutes until they're softened. Then go ahead and grab yourself a small saucepan and into the saucepan place your milk. Then place that on the hob over a medium-high heat and allow it to come to a boil. You can then go ahead and grab another bowl and into the bowl add in all of your double cream and just whisk this on its own until it's stiff peaks. That's where it holds its shape but isn't over whisked. If you over whisk it, don't worry, just restart. You do not want granular cream, it's just got an unpleasant mouthfeel. Once the cream has reached the perfect consistency, you can set it in the fridge until needed. And then into another clean mixing bowl, you'll want to go ahead and add in your egg yolks and sugar and whisk them together until they are lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency. Again, it should reach almost triple if not quadruple in volume and be almost white in colour. Once your mixture is ready, you can then add a small amount of the boiling milk into it and this will help temper the mixture. Then steadily add in the remainder and just whisk that in until it's fully incorporated. Then transfer back into a small saucepan and place back on the hob and just continuously whisk until it's heated through. You can then remove from the heat and place in your sheets of gelatin and just whisk them in until they are fully incorporated. You'll be able to see that they dissolve in pretty quickly, but just continue to whisk until the mixture is smooth. To ensure the mixture is as smooth as can be, you'll want to pass it through a sieve first just to remove any lumps. Then you'll just want to give it a quick stir and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl. Then you can go ahead and add in your raspberry puree and just stir that in using a whisk or a spatula, whichever works best, until it's fully incorporated. It should be a pretty pink colour once it's fully incorporated. Once you're incorporating it, it should look a bit marbled, but you don't want it to be marbled, you want it to be one solid colour of pink, which is quite light. So just before you intend on serving the charlotte, you'll want to finish with the whipped cream topping. So into a bowl, add in your whipped cream and just whisk that together until it reaches stiff peaks. That's just where the cream holds its shape. Transfer the whipped cream into a piping bag fitted with your nozzle of choice. I went with an open star or a 1M nozzle. Then just squeeze it up and then pipe your cream on top however you like. I just piped rosettes around the edge and then filled in any gaps with just a piped bit. As you can tell, the charlotte didn't end up looking so great, but it tasted great, so that's why I'm sharing it, and I'm sure that you can make it look a lot better than what I did. As an optional finish, you can always use some sprinkles, but I'm just using some crushed up raspberries which got broken in the process, so then just place that on top of the whipped cream and just for a bit of decorative flair and flavour. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me, and I'll be back again on Thursday with another video, so join me then. But in the meanwhile, don't forget to check out the links in the description. There'll be a link to this recipe, a link to my blog and links to all my social media, so don't forget to go and follow me over on there. But that's all for today, I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys.